Okay, I'm going to start a new file and give it a layer scale again. And this time what I want to do is set up the layers so that we can have multiple floors. So I'll choose to edit this one. Give it a name like floor instead of just design layer. And I'll create a series of floors now just by duplicating this one. So duplicate. There's floor 2. It's just putting another number on there. Edit or duplicate. Floor 3. Duplicate. Floor 4. Duplicate. And this one, actually, what I want to do is I'll slide this slider over and change the stacking order to place it underneath. And instead of floor 5, I'll call this basement. So edit, floor, B. So that's a quick setup. Now, in order to have the layers make sense, what I'll do is I'll create a space on each floor. And I'm making a gesture here so that I get an alignment. And there's a space, I can move these tags around. And what I'm going to do is copy this and paste it into a series of layers. So I'm going to say paste, copy, and what I want to do is give it some 3D information. So I'm just going to come up here, choose Show 3D, and then I'm going to give it a height. Actually, what I want to do is make sure it's on the layer plane. So I'm going to choose the plane. It's on layer basement, and make sure that it's on the layer plane, not the screen plane. So I've got this. Let's look at this in 3D. And let's look at the settings. There's a whole bunch of things you can do here in terms of occupancy and get that to be a reporting for you. The 3D attributes show the colors in 3D, the 3D boundaries. Right here what I want to do is have the bottom bound, let's see, the bottom bound be the layer elevation, and then the top bound be the wall layer height. And what that's going to do is automatically set, based on the height of the layer and the thickness of the layer, or the wall height of the layer, I'll be able to control the height of these spaces. So I'm going to click OK. And once I give a height now, I'm going to edit this layer. I'll start with, I want the elevation to be, let's see, layer height, let's say is going to be 12 feet. And what I want is for the elevation to be -12, so that because it's in the basement, it'll be below grade. Okay. And the design layer type is just going to be no layer. When you're working with stories, you can start putting these in, but for this particular, it's not really necessary for this. So what we've got now, it looks like I did that wrong. I'm just going to go back and edit the story. Let me look at this now in the organization dialog. It's a little easier to see from here. So across the top are the tabs for, and I'm choosing layer, and what I want to do is make sure that the floor B is the elevation and the wall height. The elevation is -12, and then the wall height is 12 feet So starting with floor 1 now, let's say I want all these to be, the elevation to be 15. For floor 4, I'll make it a different one. So for here, I'll click Edit. I'll change the elevation of the layer height to be 15 feet for all of these, since I've got multiple design layers selected. And you can see now they're all 15. This one I can put back to 8 or 12. I'll just edit this. Layer height of 12 feet, enter. Now for the elevation, I want these to increase by 15 so that the bottom side of one matches the top side of the other. So I'm going to choose elevation, edit each one individually now, and elevation of this first floor will be 15 feet. Will be 0 feet actually. I want it to be 0. The next one will be 15 above that, so I'm going to choose edit, and so the elevation will be 15 feet. And the next one will be 15 plus 15, so that's going to be edit, and so that'll be 30. Make sure you put the foot mark down when you type a number. And then the last one, the start elevation of the last floor will be 45. Okay, so that's basically it. Now with this space, I can see these. See the space name, and what I'm looking for now is to make sure that this is the top bound is the layer height, and the bottom bound is the layer elevation, which is correct. And I might as well. I'm going to put the gross as well. 12. I'll put layer elevation and wall layer height, so that makes that 12 feet, and I should see that now, and that's renderable. I'll just open GL, show that. Now what I want to do is add the others, so I'll copy this, and if you want to go to the next layer and then paste in place, what that means is keeping the same registration now, so I'll choose edit, paste in place. We should see the next one stacking on top and so forth, so I'll just go ahead and zoom out, make the next one visible and active, and then choose paste in place again, and you'll see each time as I go up. So I can get myself a building stack this way. The way I'm rendering right now is in OpenGL, so each time I paste, the active layer shows the active layer shows solid, and all the others are in sort of a grayed out or translucent look. If you want that to be all solid, what you can do is change the layer options from gray snap others to show snap others, and then they'll all appear the same, even though they're not in the same layer now. Each floor has its own layer. And last but not least, I'll put this one down and I'll paste this in place, and you'll see now this is 12. And if I make a change to the layer structure now, you'll see, for instance here, if I make this just a 4-foot or an 8, let's say a 6-foot layer now, I can come back into the organization dialog box and change this from a 12, edit this, to 6 feet, let's say. And I don't have to do anything about any of the floor, any of the heights of the walls or of the spaces, because they'll automatically adjust based on the layer. So it's important to make the settings so that I choose top bound is the layer height, and then the bottom bound is the layer elevation for both height of the gross and height of the net. Okay, and that should do it. Then I can have essentially a model building, and each layer displayed by itself shows the floor plan. So if I show active only, I'll see just one, and I can go to the top plan, and I can see the layer by itself. Okay, so I can see each layer as a floor plan by itself, and then I can make the viewports for each floor plan, and I can do different graphics with that.